Okay, so with nail reading, this is a great way to learn about habits of your clients. Picking at your nails, biting your nails indicates nervousness. Okay, if you have a nail biter, it's sitting there like the whole time you're talking to, and they're like, yeah, no, I'm good, I'm fine, okay, that's great. You know, you're probably not good. Listen, when people tell you my nails always break, my nails always split, my nails are so brittle, that's lack of assimilation. Could be protein assimilation, could be vitamin and mineral assimilation. Again, you're going to start asking more questions and triangulating on the face, right? Remember, your nails are collagen. Your body's going to strip from your sources that it doesn't really care about, like your hair and your nails, to save everything else. So usually people that come in are complaining about thinning hair, thinning nails, all these things, okay? And then I hold my clients' hands because I want to feel temperature, right? I'm going to hold your hand. You're going to be fine. She is freezing, by the way. Let me see your thyroid. My goodness. Yes, you can sanitize if you don't trust me. But you want to touch people. So if you're not comfortable touching each other today, that's okay. But make sure you do your own indication and then tell your partner, okay? All right. So here's what I look for. Lanulas. Now don't panic because I'm going to show you pictures of these. White vertical lines, raised lines, scooping, the color of the nail beds, horizontal ridges, the overall base color, white dots, cracking or peeling, and red or white horizontal bands of color. I know that's a lot, but we're going to walk through some pictures. Okay. Do you guys see right here this red? Okay. That's a horizontal band of color. Now, on a nail, it's picture time. It's like romper room. Now, when I draw this finger, it sometimes gets bad, so sorry. This is a good marker. It doesn't even come off. Okay. So let's see. We'll do this, and then this, and then this. All right. So when we have the top of the nail, which is here, you have what's called a lanula here. Everybody look at your fingers and see if you have moons. They come from the bottom. If you don't, how many people don't have moons? Okay, that's thyroid issue. Now take a look at that person and look at their neck. Look at the ends of their eyebrows. Start looking around, right? Try to find those thyroid indicators.
What if some fingers do and some don't?
Yeah, I'm going to get to that. Get up. I'll make you teach this with me. Go ahead. She just asked that question. If you have them on some and not others, and I said not having any is probably thyroid issues, what do you think you're heading for? There you go. Now, the only finger that should not have a moon is the pinky, correct? If you have a moon on your pinky, what does that indicate? Cardiovascular. Where would I look on the tongue? Tip. Where would I look on the face? Nose. Okay, so these are moons. Now, you can have a heavy band of red color right above the lanula. It would be like this. And you can have a heavy band of color right under the tip of your nail. Okay, that's liver. It's an indicator of liver. Where am I going to look on the face for liver? Remember, your mom's mad at you, right? Where am I going to look on the tongue for liver? Sides. Okay, now, if I have a band of red color that goes red, then white, then red again, this white part right here is kidney. Where am I going to look on the face for kidneys? Where am I going to look on the tongue for kidneys? Back of the throat. People have really big taste buds. I know you're impressed with my artwork. So, liver congestion. Obviously, here we are, MAG complete, Live Clear 2, Live Gallbladder Tincture. You could also do lean greens there. All right, what if the base color is purple? Okay, this is oxygen need. Where would I try to see if they had low oxygen somewhere else? Where could I look? Right, what about the face? Cheeks, right. You're looking at that lung meridian on the cheeks. You could also look at the nose a little bit, right, to see if it's impacted the heart. I'd probably be looking at their tongue and be like, I wonder if that line on their tongue goes all the way through and is now affecting their lung meridian and their heart meridian. So here's some solutions for that. Enter DMG. It's a great oxygenator. If you guys do not carry this in your practice, you should. We've mentioned it about 5 times now. It's such a universal supplement. It works for everybody. Circucor is also another one. DMG is dimethylglycine. It's a great methylator and oxygenator for the body. We probably have samples here if you want to try it for the second half so you guys can increase your oxygenation. It's great for the immune system. And if you have to wear a mask for your work, you should be on DMG every single day. Okay, pitting. Do you guys see those little teeny pitting lines? It looks like someone took a pin. Okay, when you touch somebody, you want to feel their nails too. You want to kind of palpate them. You want to feel if anything is like a raised ridge or if you can feel any indentation. This is candida. Where would I look for candida? On the tongue. The white coating, right. What about the face? Oh, shouldn't teach us that. Now you got to think. Cheeks, exactly. Stomach. You're going to look for redness in the cheeks. You're going to look for acne. You're going to look for breakouts. You're going to look for lines above here because that's going to be parasites, and usually parasites and candida love to live together. Okay? Like misery loves company. Yep. Yes, because right in the stomach area. Absolutely. Broken capillaries as well in the stomach area. You guys are good. Here's your solution, Candy Kill, SBC, Superbiotics. Are you guys familiar with Candy Kill? Great formula. Remember, when you have candida, your immune system's going to be low as well. This has oregano, thyme, so many good things to help with immune function. Where? It can be. If it's raised or deep. So sometimes it can be puffed up as a deep vertical, right? So she asked if there was a line like this going vertically and it was kind of like deep, or if there's a line going like this and it's vertically and it's raised up. Yes, and it can be several lines. It can be one or several, okay?
And that's candida?
That can be candida as well. Any type of thing you can palpate on the nails is probably going to be a good indication that you have an overgrowth of something, okay? No, it doesn't have to be on all the nails. None of this has to be on all the nails. There's only one time that I really worry about if something is on all nails or one nail, and I'll talk about that in a minute. Do you guys see this red around here? This is parasites. You'll see this on kids, especially nail biters, nose pickers, and teeth grinders. Those are your 3 indications of parasites in kids. Kids sit in your office and they're just digging for gold the whole time. Disgusting, but you're probably going to put them on some Microgon. Yeah. Thank God, right? And now with the mask, the kids, they just get in. They don't care. They go at it. Go ahead.
Does hangnails go with this?
Hangnails, yes, they can. But hangnails could be, you're going to look for 2 things. Parasites, yes. But with a hangnail, I'd look for an underlying like bacterial thing. Okay, so do you see how this little nail bends? Okay, this is assimilation and mineral need, fat assimilation. So that would be minerals, omega D3, or omega-3 liquid. This is all fat. You could also use some betazyme here, especially you might see this in people that don't have a gallbladder. Okay, that's a lanula. It should be on every finger except for your pinky. You don't want them on your pinkies. No moons, thyroid issue, low circulation. People will usually have low body temperature. Your solution for that, Thyro Complete, Iodine Plus, Adrenamax. Yellow nails. This is probably some sort of liver issue. Can be candida. How would I tell the difference? Where am I going to look? Right? You got to start thinking, right? Okay, well, I'm going to look for candida patterns on the tongue, on the face, liver patterns on the tongue, on the face. Most of the time, I'll ask people if they've had any recent blood work, if I'm seeing that. Clubbing. Clubbing is very typical in people that have COPD. Okay? It's amazing how a deoxygenation of the body can cause such a physical manifestation. It's interesting. But again, you're going to be looking on the cheeks. You're going to be looking on the lungs. You're going to be asking questions. White dots. Ashley, this is what I was talking about. If you have little white dots on all your nails, it's usually a mineral zinc deficiency. If it's on one nail, it's usually a hormone issue. How would I confirm that? Right? I'm going to look on their chin. Scooping nails. This is poor protein assimilation. You need Cybezyme or Betazyme. And I would probably give them some sort of protein source, Super Shake or Best Way, until you get past that assimilation issue. All right, so here's a cool thing about the nails. The nails take 6 months to grow out from back to front. If I look at somebody's nails and I see a horizontal dent across them, I'm probably going to ask this person, what happened 4 months ago? And they're like, oh, how did you know? I'm like, well, I'm amazing. No, I'm just kidding. I explained to them that their nails grow in 6 months. And any time, whether it's an emotional trauma, a sick trauma, whatever that emotional stress was that happened at that time, it impacted their body. And these are conversations that you let them know that if you're ever coming across that kind of stress again, know that it will physically affect you. And so you have to support yourself through that time of stress, right? So you talk to them about Calm Day, Sleep Time, Adrenamax, Super B Complete, Full Spectrum Hemp Extract. All the things that are going to support the adrenals, the neurotransmitters, serotonin, dopamine, all of those things. Okay, before we go and let you go your turn, I want to go through the last part of this PowerPoint because I'm running out of time and there's a lot of information. All right. So, to pull it all together physically, you want to notice something presenting itself in 3 areas, right? Did they have a heavy liver band of color on their nails, in addition to lines between their eyebrows, a coating on their tongue, or indentations on the side? That would be 3 liver indicators for me. Do they have a heavy line down the center of their tongue? Vertical white lines on their nails? Any type of vertical white lines that you cannot palpate. You guys have to look at Melinda out here. Just turn around, look out the door. They're out there dancing in their skirts. They're so cute. So if they have a heavy line down the center of the tongue, what does that tell me? Spleen or stomach. But now we have lines on their nails that you can't palpate, but you can see them. That's low protein assimilation. Different than what Dr. Dangler was asking is if they are if I can feel them. That's candida. If I can't feel them but I can see them, that's protein. So now I know I have protein issues, and now I have acne, maybe right here on the stomach. So that's 3 indicators of digestion for me and probably low hydrochloric acid. So you got to learn to kind of pull these together, right? Nail fungus, yellow, heavy coating on the tongue, and perhaps acne on the forehead. You know how candida likes to fall to the bladder, right? Or maybe on the cheeks. Okay, so look for those patterns of 3s. And they're not always going to look the same. Okay? Bumps on your nails, right? That 6-month bump. Something stressful happened. How did it impact your body? Did it cause crow's feet? Are your adrenals now suffering from that stress? What about thyroid? Does your tongue shake when you stick it out? If I see stress bumps on people's nails, straight across all of their nails, I know they're going to have adrenal issues because it's on all of them, right? If it's on 1 or 2, it might not have affected them that much. Cracked or chapped lips, cold sores, cracked tongue in the spleen area, white base of color to your nails, no moons. Do you have a vertical spleen line between your eyebrows? This is all low immune function, low mineral assimilation. Remember, guys, when you get under stress and your spleen tanks out, you're going to lose minerals, you're going to lose vitamins, you're going to lose especially B vitamins, and all those things that your body can always hold down, all those little viruses, they all start to pop up, right? It's like when people get Lyme, they get a secondary EBV issue because Lyme can activate EBV, okay? Okay, any questions? I would say, there's something going on. I'd probably start asking more questions if it's just one nail. I'd also ask about an injury. Like I have a thumbnail that it's just constantly bumpy, but I dropped a weight on it when I was like 22 years old and broke it, and it never grew back right. Now, chicken and the egg, right? Could that be affecting issues with the body? I don't know. I think no. I say no. But that would be something that someone saw it, they'd be like, oh my gosh, what happened to your nail? You know, like, oh, but I'd have to, no, that was a 30-pound dumbbell. We're fine, right? Go ahead, Nancy.
What about people that have really thick nails?
That's probably an overproduction of collagen, right? So I'm going to start looking for candida issues on that. So that's like they get real thick and yellow and brittle. That's probably candida.
You talked about acne on the cheeks, forehead,
Mhm.
and chin, but what about if it's like on the side?
Yeah, if the acne is coming around the jawbone, I'd still start looking for hormones. I'd also probably look for candida and parasites. So if you have little red cheeks and you start getting acne here, I'm probably going to put you on a parasite candida cleanse. But then I'd confirm it with your tongue and, you know, additional testing. But I'd probably ask more questions. Maybe about your hormones, your diet. You know, obviously we can't out-supplement a bad diet, right? All of this can just simply be because somebody's driving through McDonald's every day. You know, I usually tell people if you change your lifestyle, you get more sleep, you're going to look 10 years younger. That's usually enough to convince them. They don't care how they feel. They're like, oh, that's going to make me look better? Okay, yeah. Go ahead.
If the person's wearing nail polish, can you do the same test on the toenails?
Yeah, the toes are a little bit farther away, but I do ask about toenail health. Okay, most people will neglect to tell you that all of their toes are yellow or that their feet are cracked. You can expand this down.
Okay.
I just am not digging feet, so I'm probably not going to ask them to show me their feet. I got to be honest. I'm going to be like, that's nice. Okay, I believe you. Yeah, so that's okay. Yeah, so as like a reflexologist, you have a better view. And so I would look at the health of those nails and then look at their hands and then start looking at their face. So most of that candida, that toe fungus will show up on the feet before the nails because it's farther away, so there's less circulation to heal it. Who had a question? Go. Sorry, Tony, go.
If somebody has multiple like ridges like horizontally, does that just mean stress or could it be a different like vitamin deficiency or something?
Yeah, well, it's usually chronic stress. So it usually means that something deeper is going on. There's something critical going on.
If the entire nail's red and there's no moves, no white spots.
So it's just flat red. That's probably coagulation. Your circulation is thick. So I'd probably say to that person, is there a cardiovascular need? Right? Sometimes we eat too much protein, we can't break it down, it causes congestion of the liver, deoxygenation of the blood. You got to follow the bouncing ball, right? Use your, all of your collective knowledge to figure out these patterns. It's kind of like being a detective. It's not always going to look the same pattern for the same person, but I'd definitely be looking at hard indicators for that person. Okay, you guys ready to learn about emotions? And then you guys can do stuff over lunch. Okay, here we go.
Tracey,
Yes, who said Tracy? Go ahead.
you said something about Lyme disease.
Mhm.
What was the correlation there?
Lyme disease can activate retroviruses like EBV, Epstein-Barr. Okay, that's what I did that lecture. When did I do that lecture? I don't remember. Whenever I did that lecture, we have the playback if you want it. But yeah, Lyme disease, it's a spirochete, and it has 3 phases. So it'll go from bacteria, and then once the environment becomes hostile, it'll become a cyst. And then once the environment becomes more hostile, like you keep doing antibiotics, it starts to develop a biofilm. And that biofilm changes every 7 days. So Nattikin Plus in between meals has had the most studies on destroying biofilm in Lyme. Okay, write that down. Yeah, but it'll activate a bunch of underlying issues. So people go in and they may show high EBV when really they have a dormant Lyme going on. So, okay, emotions. As we approach this section, like I said, please know that you can expose a lot about a person by looking at them. Okay, be gentle, be courteous, be more inquisitive. Rather than telling them how they feel, ask them. Confirm a thought you might have rather than telling them a thought you have. Okay? All right, so the shape of the face matters. People that have a narrow forehead to a wide chin, people can have a round face. People can have a square face. Gold, the bottom left one, can also be called metal. People have been known to be metal. And also, if you have a wider forehead to a thinner chin, that's wood. You can also be a combination of these. And just by looking at this, you probably can't tell what I am, but I'm a metal fire. So guess what I do? What does fire do to metal? Melts it. I burn myself out all the time. So my husband is very much an earth wood, and he comes over and he's like, "Stop it!" I'm like, okay. People that are wood fire, they fuel their own fire, buddy. They don't need anybody to tell them how awesome they are. Right? Water and earth, they're the people that stick and slow you down. They're mud. You get stuck. Ugh. They're like, There's some that go together well and some that don't. Everybody is usually a combination. So fire faces, they're restless. They love change, right? They usually have bony fingers, sharp features. They're exciting, unpredictable. Isn't that the truth? Unpredictable is probably the one. Jamie's like, "What the heck are you doing now?" I'm like, "I got this. Don't worry. Just trust me." They like making new friends. I made a bunch of new friends last night. This guy walked in. He threatened to hug me. I was like, "Oh, yeah? I'll take you up on it." I'm like, "Come, bring it in." And then I went and sat down with the whole group of some CEO group that comes here every Friday, and now we're like BFFs. I can lack wisdom for myself mostly because I don't know when to stop, right? Teams well with wood, but not gold because I melt them. A water sign will hinder me. I don't get along with them very well, right? My skin color does tend to be a little bit red underneath, but overall your features are sharp. So they're very poignant people. They'll tell you exactly how it is. Water signs are more easygoing. They just kind of go with the flow, like it's all good. You know what I mean? Clear-headed, good at business, very diplomatic. This is Michaela, in case anybody wants to know. She's a little bit of water and wood. Pairs well with gold, hindered by earth. Skin is usually moist, overall feature round. Health concern is kidneys. Earth, love Mr. Rogers. Isn't he like the epitome of the earth sign? Just grounded, brings everything back down, everybody calm down, everything's going to be okay. But they are achievers. And they're achievers because people want to help them so much. Gold and metal. This is Angelina Jolie. They have enough grace and charm to give to everyone, but often keep it to themselves. Anything a gold touches is a huge success. They're an image maker, frequently lack inner strength, so they rely on their teams to really help them. Tend to team up with people like themselves, but those relationships don't last. They tend to fight with people, right? Skin tends to be dewy, overall feature elegant. Fire hinders gold, so it's bad that I'm both gold and fire because I burn myself out. Like all of a sudden I'm like, I'm so tired, I'm just gonna die. And health concerns are lungs. This is true. If I get sick, I'll get it in my lungs first. Wood, narrow at the bottom, right? Wider at the top. Robin Williams was a great wood. They have a broad vision. They're a tree. They can see over everything, right? They can see the whole thing. This is Michaela's second sign. I'm giving you away, Michaela. Okay. They're very trustworthy. These are some of the most loyal, trustworthy people you'll meet. They're in the clouds, but when she balances out with the other sign, that brings her back down. She's very detail-oriented. And you'll notice that some people pull features from each stronger than others. Okay? All right, so here's your thing, right? Most people are a mix of all the elements. When we go this way, when we go from wood to fire to earth, these elements support each other, right? Wood fuels the fire, and fire is balanced by earth, and earth then produces gold from the fire purification, and then the water, and it just goes around the water, waters the wood, and we go around. But if we go this way, fire melts gold, gold hinders wood, wood steals from the earth nutrients, the earth becomes mud and water puts out fire. So you see how you can go the wrong way with the elements. So when you know that you're a combination of two that are not like super balancing and nurturing, that's something you need to know about yourself so you can balance out yourself. I have learned to say no a lot more than I do, and I have also learned that I need to have like a day where I'm just like, I have to be mindless and watch movies from 1995 or before. Like, I just have to. So, okay, primary areas and meanings. People are asking, what do eyebrows mean? What do ears mean, right? Ears are life's potential. Eyebrows are reputation. People that have big fuzzy eyebrows, they want to be somebody. Now girls, if you're plucking your eyebrows, taking your potential away, you're also jacking up your thyroid, so stop that. Eyes are wisdom. People with real big eyes, they're visionaries. They're visual learners. People that have narrow eyes, they're very deep. They want to know all the things. Tell me everything. Very detailed. It's not that they're not trustworthy, but you got to show them everything. They're also very wise. Boink. Jamie Dorley. Right? Nose is wealth, midlife, and achievements because it's in the middle of your face. So this is before 30. This is 30 to 50. And this is from 50 into your geriatric senior golden years. Okay? How long it is, how symmetrical it is, tells you lifespan. It can tell you the health there. You ever see people that have a big prominent nose? They probably hit most of their success between 30 and 50. Okay? Mouth is disposition. I mean, I can probably tell the whole room what mood I'm in if I'm like, right? If I just change my mouth, I'd be like, hey. Or like, So when we hide our mouth, like what's happening now, we're losing part of our communication, just so you guys know that. A big part of it. Then you don't know who to trust. Because this tells you your disposition. What are your intentions? Okay. Other areas, forehead is character, right? Busy thinkers. You know those people are like go-getters, right? Cheekbones are power and energy. Jawbone, status. You ever see someone who has like a really prominent jaw? I mean, what did they do in pictures? They're like, right? They put their chin up. That's status. Okay? Thinkers. They're thinking. Where do I want to go? What do I need to do? Who do I want to be? They're trying to be successful, so they're thinking about it. They're thinking about their status. I talked about the space between your nose, the sexuality. Spoiler alert, right? Under the eye, fertility and quality of children. Laugh lines, longevity. So your adrenals here, when you see lines, right? It can't be adrenals, but in some cultures, it's actually good. They're just like, hey, they're laugh lines. Those are great, right? Happy. Okay, so eyes and eyebrows. Curved eyebrows. Your mental focus is people-oriented. You're a people person. Straight eyebrows. You are direct. Tell it like it is. End of story. Angled eyebrows. Right here. So you have that little peak, right? You have to stay mentally in control of the situation. You're there to win. Look at her laughing. High eyebrows, you're discerning and selective. You have good discernment of people. You rate character first, you ask questions later. Low eyebrows, expressive, and you're very quick to take action. Bushy eyebrows, you're a mentally active person. You have tons, you're the idea person. You're who the business wants to come to and be like, what are you thinking? Tell me your ideas. Thin eyebrows, you can only focus on one thing at a time. Very single-minded. Okay? So ladies, if your husband's just like, I can't do all this stuff, just say, let me see your eyebrows. Oh yeah, you're right, you can't. Okay, let's move on. Right? They can't help it. Their eyebrows are thin. Winged eyebrows, they kind of go up and out, okay? So they get thinner at the ends. You're a planner. You should actually be the planning committee of anything you do. Even eyebrows, you are a very smooth thinker. Everything flows. Just you have one process after another. Managerial, you're slow to start something new. But once you do it, you complete the task. You're a manager. You're a great project manager. If you got the unibrow, your thoughts are continuous and restless. You need to learn to rest. You ever see somebody with crazy eyebrows, like tangled hairs and all that stuff, right? Kind of wild. Well, that suits their personality. They're an unconventional thinker. You're always like, what are you talking about? They're like, no, this will work. Trust me. Right? Like, no, it won't. We cannot mix a cat with a, goat. Seems weird. Excess of hairs. You have a strong connection between your inner feelings and your logical thinking. Scattered hairs, where people are like just growing them all over the place, right? And there's kind of spaces in between the hairs of the eyebrows. Your focus is wide range. You can take on many projects and it doesn't bother you. Very much a multitasker. So the chameleon eyebrow down here, right? They're nearly invisible. I say these people are hard to trust because you never know who they truly are. They change for every person in every situation, and you never know the true person. I don't want somebody to change to please me, right? Unless it's my husband. Then I want him to change completely. No, I'm just kidding. All right, any questions? So spacing of the eyes, widely spaced, you have broad vision. You're open, and you're farsighted in your imagination. You're just an open thinker. You accept ideas. You love ideas. You're a broad thinker. When your eyes are kind of close together, you're very focused on details, and you excel at exacting tasks, minute by minute. These are usually your micromanagers. What are you doing? What are you doing? What's that do? Did you get that done? Did you check on this? We have 7 meetings on it. It's like, oh. I just want to take their eyes and be like, okay. Stop it. Okay, the angle of the eyes, if they angle up, you have good inspiration and imagination. If they angle down, you're kind of pessimistic. You don't see the world. See how we talked about the mouth corners, up or down? Same thing with the eye corners. People that have corners down, they kind of look at like glass is kind of half empty. I got to be a little bit cautious. Or people with eyes have angle up, they're like, let's just do it. Let's go. Right? No angle at all. You have a balanced view. You're vanilla. No, I'm just kidding. Oops, sorry. How far back this can mean? Adrenals. And this can mean issues with thyroid, obviously with that. But deep eyes seem calm, and protruding eyes seem enthusiastic. You ever see someone has real big eyes and they're like, hey, I just got this new program, and you're like, oh man, no, I don't want to do it. No, right? So those are the people that are real visionaries. Like they're always like, let's go do it. I know one sitting over there, right there. Right there she is in the white. Stand up, Ashley. There you are. So Ashley's always like, okay, I have 7 ideas. I'm like, okay, I'll call you back. Top lids, those do indicate protein assimilation, right? We learned that before. The abundant lid, you have strong need for intimacy. You like to be a snuggler. You're all in. If you have a thin lid, so only part shows with the eyes open, okay? So when you have it like touches it, you have balanced intimacy. Yeah, you're good just being in the same room. High fives. And then no lids, right? If they sit like right on top, you have the gift of extreme focus, and you absolutely need your own personal space to do it in. Bottom lids, straight. You maintain emotional distance. This is a perfect time for you right now, and social distance. So congratulations, you are in your glory. If they're curved, right here, naturally down, okay? You're positive, receptive, and open to new ideas. And then if they're extremely curved, you're extremely open. So it's kind of like holding your hands out, right? If I'm going to accept something, I'm going to make a little bucket, a curve.
Which one was that?
These right here.
Yep.
These two are open to receiving new ideas. Not so much. I mean, how am I going to look at you if you say, listen, I'm going to give you $1 million? I'm going to be like, say what? I'm not going to be like, you are, right? So your face expressions can change too, right? So if I'm kind of like skeptical, I'm going to be a little bit narrow with my eyes. Whereas if I'm open, I'm like, all right, let's do it. $1 million. I'm your best friend, right?
You said the first one was skeptical?
Skeptical. Mm-hmm. So eyelashes, obviously sensitive versus not sensitive. Guess which one's sensitive? Probably the one with more, right? I mean, don't flirty eyelashes tell you that? Isn't that what they put on you? I mean, they use all these programming on us. If someone's trying to flirt with you and they're batting their eyes at you, it's kind of like they're sensitive and open. They want the intimacy. Whereas someone's just like, not so much, right? Okay, so we talked about eyebrows. We talked about eyes. Let's talk about noses. Nubian nose. This guy, right? President Obama. These are phenomenal speakers. Their nose draws you right to their mouth. Wasn't he one of the greatest speech givers? Like him or not, you got to give him credit where he was, right? Greek nose. Prudent and extremely practical. Don't try to go outside the box on these people. Hook nose. These people are opinionated, thoughtful, and very deep. Arch nose. These people are very organized and great managers. And the button nose. This is 13% of the general population have these types of noses. But there's nothing common about these people. They're strong-willed and spontaneous. This is the button nose. 13% of the population has the button nose. They're open to new things. You want to try something new? They're down. They'll do it, at least once. Straight nose. These people control their emotions. And then concave nose that comes down like this out of the forehead. These people are very sensitive and passionate. It's kind of cool, all these things, huh? You never look at people the same again. Crooked nose. Straightforward. They have great character. They're very trustworthy. And they'll be like the best friend. This is the fun friend. This is the low maintenance, like call me anytime, let's go to the bar, you don't have to text me any other time type of guy. I mean, let's think about every movie this dude made, right? He didn't pick things where he was like all sincere. He was like Wedding Crashers. I mean, what else was he in? All right, so we talked about mouths a little bit, personally and emotionally. Obviously, red, moist sexuality, fuller lips, passion. Talked on this a little bit. I'm going to go through these since we have them down. Corners of the mouth, up, optimistic, down, pessimistic. Parted lips, their openness to anything and everything. Think about how they sexualize women, right? What do they do with their lips, right? They're not like, they part them and they have all these little things about them. So it means that she's open. So they do these little subliminal things because that's what the body is saying. Okay? So lots of cool things here, guys. You can read on this a little bit. Crooked lips, lines around the mouth. I put that chart in there for you. Ears and earlobes, size. These are your good listeners. If you got a little kid like a taxi cab with the doors open coming into your studio, he's an auditory learner. And if you're hearing that he's on ADD and ADHD medicine because he won't sit still in school and da-da-da-da-da, talk to the mom about changing his learning style. He may not be a watch and see type of kid. He might be an auditory kid. You got kinesthetic learners. Kids that have flat ears against their heads. That's my oldest son, John. I can be like, John. And he's just sitting there watching TV. I'm like, John, 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 John. And then he'll be like, what? He's not auditory. He doesn't hear. But Lucas, my little guy, he can be in the basement and I can be across the street at the neighbor's house talking, and I'll come back and he's like, now why did you say that, Mommy? And I'm like, how did you hear that? Like, I have to be really careful around him. So ears are, extremely good assessments. Also, the size of them can mean success, whether your earlobes are attached or not, can be whether you're egotistical. There is so much on face, tongue, and nail. We could go on forever. But the left ear is birth to 6 years, and the right ear is 7 to 13 years. Okay? So this is interesting because my friend Lauren, when her son was born, his ear was folded down like this. And he had a crease right about in the middle, 3 years old. At 3 years old, he was diagnosed with cardiovascular issues. Isn't that interesting? She had an indicator. Now knowing what she knows, she was like, I should have been looking for that. So these can be indicators. They also can tell you a lot about a person. If a person has bumps or anything, and if you feel someone's ears, this girl's so upset she sat in the front because I'm going to touch her ear now. If you go around their ears and you feel them and you feel different bumps, you can ask questions. You know, what happened when you were 3? What happened when you were 9? Right? Or if there's damage to the ear or a growth on the ear. These are just other tools for you guys. The face. Remember I said early age is here, middle age is here, and then your longevity is here. So people would have a very long, from the nose down to chin, they're going to live a long time. Okay? So if you know that about somebody, if they have a very prominent feature here and they're not healthy, get them healthy because they're going to live for a while. And you want quality of life. All right, so here's what organs mean. Brain, stubborn. Thyroid is expression, sometimes too much. People with thyroid issues either tend not to speak their truth, or people with thyroid issues don't shut up, right? I mean, that's usually, I'm probably on this side of that and then the quiet side, but I don't really have thyroid yet. Lungs are grief. Do you ever know the story of Christopher Reeves? We talked about that before. He died, and 1 year later to the date, his wife died of lung cancer. She never smoked. Okay? Kidneys are fear, stomach, intolerance. It's something you can't stomach. You know, I can't stomach that. I can't do it. Colon is being stuck in life. People that are constipated are stuck emotionally, maybe physically, I don't know. And bladder, irritated. Liver is anger or frustration. If someone has, liver things, don't be like, you're so angry. I would just say, let go of that anger. Let go of that frustration. It's not serving you. That person doesn't care that you're mad, right? Gallbladder, resentment. Bones are resentment. Holding it deep in your bones. Joints, inflexibility. People who have joint issues chronically. Now, yeah, it can be physical, dehydration, and all that kind of stuff. But emotionally, they're not willing to bend. They don't want to change. They want to keep doing what they keep doing, and they want life to be perfect, right? Ligaments, control, tendons, like I said, inflexibility, skin, unworthy. People that have skin issues, they feel unworthy. There's probably an associated trauma. Might be something that you want to ask. So we're going to skip through these because I think if we look at them later, you can draw the shapes around their face, right? But if I look at her emotionally, what do you guys see? Look at her eyes. She's tired, maybe a little fearful. She's got some kidney going on here, right? She's kind of like a oblong face, so I'd say she's a little bit metal and maybe a little bit earth. Probably ask Diane if she's pooping. What do you see? Now knowing what you know, can you judge his character better? Look at that nose, man. Prominent, right? His mouth is very tight, but thick lips. He's not going to tell you all his secrets, but when he does something and he says it, he means it. If he says something, he means it. Pay attention to his words, all of his words, not just what you want to hear. Look at his eyes. He is lasered in. Yeah, his kidneys are dying. Like, I just want to go give him some K&B tincture and be like, whew. And liver. Yeah, he's super mad. But look at his laser focus. He is so detail-oriented. He's not trustworthy of many people. He doesn't tell a lot of people his stuff, but the people he tells are right next to him. Will go to the grave for him. So, and look at his ears. He hears everything, but only really what he wants to hear, right? They're kind of close to his head. He's not going to listen to you fully. He's going to take out of it what he needs to do what he needs to do. Wayne Dyer. Does anybody know what he died of? Pancreatic cancer. See his assimilation of proteins? It's funny, he was a little pessimistic. It's probably why he tried to inspire the world. So, emotions of the tongue. Candida is overwhelmed. I have no flow. I'm overwhelmed. I'm stagnant. Everything's overgrowing. People that have high candida have no boundaries. Lack of boundaries. They can't say no. Deficiency is usually lack in life. Stomach, heart, and lung. I talked about this guy. There was something he couldn't tolerate, creating heartbreak, a little bit of grief. Gallbladder, frustration, resentment, and lack. I'm just dropping through these. How about Gene, huh? Yeah. Look at that black in the back of his tongue. You know, I look at some of these stars, these actresses. This guy, he's the one that goes around the world and eats stuff. I just want to send him Betazyme, Cybzyme, and Circucor and just be like, continue to eat, brah, but you need some enzymes. It's killing you. Right? Like, look at his tongue. Oy. This poor girl, she's so overwhelmed and heartbroken. Her life was stolen from her. People hate her, and I'm just like, girl is so broken, and I can see it all over her. Look at that overwhelmed tongue. White undercolor, deficiency in life, hot red tip. That's heart. Poor kid. So you can run through these, right? If we see a liver line, we know it's frustration. We see those vertical lines, that lack of assimilation. These are the ones that you can't palpate, but you can see. This person's not getting what they need. Probably not getting what they need in life. Maybe want what they need in the relationship, and they're frustrated. Look deeper, right? Feeling suffocated. When you can't breathe, you're suffocated. What are you suffocated from? Look at these people in masks. Why don't people just wear them, right? They feel like it's suffocating their freedom. It's suffocating all these things. Candida, we talked about, is overwhelmed. Lymphatic system is all about flow. Yeah, well, I usually do a good 30 days of Candy Kill. The question was, how long do you keep people on a program? I turn my clients around first visit to second in 3 weeks, and then second to third in a month. So on how you practice, I would probably keep them on something for a good solid 30 days. I'm not one to change supplements real quick because I want to make sure it's doing what it's doing in the body, and I think they should finish it. Even if the Candida's gone, taking Candy Kill doesn't hurt you. You know, the berberine is great for blood sugar, the oregano, the thyme, the green, I mean, just all the things in there are so nutrifying. But I would probably say 30 days minimum, unless you're using an additional cleanse with them and you know that it's gone. But then you can go back to your testing. Parasites. Parasites internally and externally. You guys know who the parasites are in your life. They just suck the life right out of you. They walk into the room and it's like, and you're like, oh, she's here, you know. Get rid of those. Nails that bend down. This is lack of protection, feeling unsafe. No moons, again, thyroid, expression, right? Liver, jaundice, resistance to change can be that. They're frustrated with their life, but they don't want to change it. Again, suffocating, depletion. You guys have all these notes. I'm just going to go through them. Okay, last thing we're going to talk about real quick. We have about 5 minutes. No, I'm done. You want me to stop? Okay, so nonverbal communication. Guys, 7% of our communication is words. 7. You walk into a room, trust me, your energy comes in first, right? Okay. So when you're looking at your clients, you're decoding and encoding. Your decoding is your ability to read people's cues, and your encoding is your ability to send cues. So you're doing 2 things as you're sitting in that chair. And I assure you, if you have underlying issues, underlying grief, underlying anger, that is the first thing people see when they look at you. Especially if they pick it up. So watch and listen, be confident, but don't be threatening, okay? You're making a recommendation, but it doesn't have to be something that's overbearing, okay? So, I think versus I feel. Listen to your auditory cues. If you hear somebody say, well, I think this started in 1999, and I really feel that blah, 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 blah. I think means I'm a logical thinker. Like, I think this started due to X, Y, or Z. So logically, that makes sense to me. I feel means I feel this started in X, Y, or Z. That's an emotional connection to it. So I think versus I feel. Thinking people are going to ask you questions. Don't get offended by it. They want details and information. Emotional people are a tendency to believe you. They're all about feelings and emotion. Okay? Understanding your body language cues. I mean, obviously, if someone's sitting in the chair like this, uncross your arms. She's just cold. She's totally into what I'm saying. No, I'm just kidding. They're probably not open to hearing what you have to say. That's a closed posture. Hands on the hips, ready and in control is a sign of aggressiveness. I'll walk into the kitchen and I'll be like, what'd you say? I'm not always like, what'd you say? No, it's like you have to pay attention to posture. Okay? Closed posture, people sitting in the chair, all bent over and all together. They're afraid to be there. Okay? Versus an open posture where they're like, okay, I feel safe here. So if many of your clients, this is just a self-assessment, are coming into your office and they're like, look at your atmosphere. Is there anything in there that's intimidating to them? We like to put all our stuff on the wall. It's like, wah! Then people walk in and they're like, holy crap. Like, sometimes you just want to create an open atmosphere, something warm, okay? When people have eye contact with you, they're engaged. People that aren't, that are lurking around, that can be a confidence issue. If they're breaking eye contact, they're either distracted or they're uncomfortable. You know what I tell my kids? Look at me. Tell me, look at me. Then I'm like, put your arm out. I want to see if you're lying. He's like, okay, Mom, I did it. It works. I'm like, put your arm out. He's like, I did it. I was like, yeah, I know you did. Looking down is doubt or embarrassment, right? Ashamed. Let people look down if it's hard, right? And then that deer in the headlights look like, that was so much information, I have no idea what to do. Pick up on the cues. It's going to mean a lot for your success and for your client's success. Smile. You have your nervous smile, right? Your malicious smile. Your mischievous smile. Jamie's good at that one. And the smile of relief, like, well, I'm almost done, guys. You're almost there, right? Watch for those cues as well. Lip biting, mouth expressions, covering your mouth. That's an effort to be polite, right, if they're coughing or yawning, but it also will hide information. You're doubting something somebody's saying. You're thinking about something somebody's saying, okay? But smiling is the greatest body language signal. And guess what we can't see anymore? I saw a big billboard with a guy with a mask. It said, smile. I was like, what the heck? It's like, oh my gosh. I'm like, we're just getting dumber. All right, pursed lips. Lip biting, covering your mouth, turned upside down. You can read all these and what they mean. But we communicate a great deal through touch, handshake, a warm hug, right? Patronizing pat on the head. Yeah, we love that one, right? And gestures are woven into the fabric of our daily lives. You may wave back or point or beckon, use your hands, and you can often be giving signals without saying anything. There's some of you in here that are so good at that. And I know exactly what you're thinking, even if you don't think I do. And then tone and inflection. Please don't text. I mean, that is like the worst thing on conversations. If a patient is calling you and they're scared, don't be like, hey, pick the phone up. If you're struggling, I can't talk right now, set an appointment, know that I'm praying for you, it's going to be okay. Inflection matters. How you say it matters. If you say to them, like, I'm really glad you're here, or if I say, I'm really glad you're here, it's a completely different inflection, okay? So, you're going to take your maps to lunch, have fun, enjoy. Jamie, I'm not sure where we're eating, so if you guys have any questions, I'll be around in lunch. Feel free to just wave me down because I want you guys to have a good hour to eat. And we'll resume with Jeff Nisnik in the afternoon to confirm all your findings, okay? Guys good? All right.